Well, 5 to go, an impressive pass for the lead. What did you learn most about Amelia that you're excited about the 500?
Well, we knew it was a real good car. This car, actually, a lot of people don't talk about it, but it won the 150 last year too. So it's got 3 wins and a second and third last year. It's a great car. Another win at Daytona for the Earnhardts. Keep adding to the legacy, and we're up there in the 50s now with all the wins we got here. So I'm real glad to be able to do that. It was a fun race. Did a lot of blocking tonight. Nothing too crazy, but glad it didn't have to get that way. But just defending those guys and the moves they were putting together is a real challenge. There's some great cars out there, some really, really good guys out there that are starting to become pretty tough on these plate tracks. Joey's always up there. Denny's real tough. See the same guys up there all the time in the last several years, and they're hard to hold off, and it's getting harder and harder.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. scores his 5th dual win.
Thanks to Nationwide. I want to thank those guys. They do a lot for us. Thank you.
Jamie?
And Ryan Blaney officially in. Now your second 500, but the first for the Wood brothers. You and your teammate, you guys look like you had a chance there at the end. What were you talking about afterwards?
Just trying to time runs. That's a big thing, is trying to get a good push behind you to help the guy in front of you to hopefully get by that leader. But I just followed Joey up there. Maybe the last 5 laps we got a couple good holes, and I had Chase behind me. He stuck with me too. That was a big part of it, having someone help behind you. So good recovery. We had a couple issues early in the race and went a lap down, and luckily got a caution and got back on the lead lap. But it's nice to have a good run. We had a fast car, and our Motorcraft quick lane Ford Fusion is pretty good. So I'm excited for Sunday.
Nice work and congratulations. Let's go over to Chris.
Well, Jamie, Michael McDowell races his way into the Daytona 500. And, Michael, what a pressure-packed week for you. What were those last couple laps like?
Oh, it's so intense. When Blaney had a problem there, and we were counting on him racing his way in, and then, at the end, we just dug hard, and the 21 got going, came to the white flag, and I was like, I'm right in the middle of it, but you got to protect it at the same time. I'm just so excited for everybody at Circle Sport Levine Family Racing to get this thriving financial Chevrolet, K-Love, everybody that's been a part of our program for so long. I can't tell you what it means to make the Daytona 500. We're racing Sunday, and I just can't wait to get going.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Third time in the last 7 years he's raced into the 500. Hall of Famer, our sports Edison, Leonard Wood gets congratulations. His older brother Glenn owns the team and is here for his 70th consecutive Daytona Speed Weeks. Amelia, that car named for famed aviatrix Amelia Earhart, is a winner.
Chris Myers back with you in Daytona. The 5th dual win in the career of Dale Earnhardt Jr. ties him 3rd all-time with Jeff Gordon, Darrell Waltrip, and Bobby Allison on the dual list. A quick recap. 1 duel down and 1 to go with 1 spot for Sunday's 40-car field. There's Chase Elliott, the 20-year-old, on the pole and in the front row tonight in Duel 1 with Dale Earnhardt Jr. as teammate. Led a couple of laps, but there goes Jr. The in-car camera view passing the 24. Meanwhile, Austin Dillon in the 3, some issues with some item on the back that he was never red flagged for. Didn't cause any problem. Eventually flew off on its own. Meanwhile, Cole Witt, Michael McDowell, open drivers battling for a spot in the race. A little bit of blocking effort there within the rules by McDowell. The tires hurt Witt. He spins out of the 500. Hamlin fast out of the pits, and Denny actually led 13 laps, but here's the move with 6 to go. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in his Nationwide Chevrolet pulling into victory lane, and already the favorite for the Daytona 500 Sunday, adding fuel to that fire. Let's check in right now with Chase Elliott. He's standing by with Chris Neville.
Well, Chase Elliott comes home 6th tonight, but Chase, you will be starting up in pole position come Sunday. What did you learn in this race?
Just a lot of things of, I guess, what not to do and some opportunities I feel like we missed. Just trying to recognize the lanes before they form up, and you know, whichever lane has more cars in it, more, you know, really powerful cars, that one's going to go forward. And the really good guys are good at recognizing that before it happens, and I just let some opportunities slip away there.
Well, for the second race here in Speedweeks, Joey Logano comes out second. It looks like you had a shot on Junior, but he's so good. How do you beat this guy in his favorite car here on Sunday?
I don't know. I can't beat him right now. I got to figure something out. But he's just so good. You know, he's a great speedway racer. He's got a great car behind him, and congrats to him. I feel like we're close. You know, it was a really fun run through the end, and you know, ducking down to the bottom and trying to pull that bottom lane up, and it worked out well. Just got to get a little bit more to pass him. You know, I had a good run. Blaney did awesome behind me. He gave me a good push at the end, and almost had enough to get to the outside of Dale, and it just the run just kind of died out, and that was kind of the end of that. So it's really hard to pass for the lead when you're second, third place, or you're second row trying to pass for the lead. It's really challenging to have a big enough run to get to the outside, and that's why you see the leaders stay out there for so many laps. So just got to figure out how to get there, and then I feel like our car is plenty fast enough to stay up there.
All right, well, Joey Logano's heading up to the spotter stand to watch the next race, see if he can learn a thing or two.
Thanks, Jamie. We'll be watching, there he is, Michael Waltrip with Matt Kenseth. Kenseth starting on the front row in Duel 2 with Kyle Busch, Robert Richardson Jr., David Gilliland, and Reed Sorensen. One of them will realize the dream of getting in the Daytona 500. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything they learn making tires for the grueling demands of NASCAR inspires what rolls into yours. Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. And as we look ahead towards the second duel of the night, Matt Kenseth and Kyle Busch starting on the front row. Kurt Busch, you see Ryan Newman, former Daytona 500 winner. Eric Almirola, Jamie McMurray, Michael Waltrip in the backup car, Danica Patrick in row 7. And rounding out the field, they have to race their way in. Richardson, Gilliland, Sorensen, and there's Martin Truex Jr. Never really got to run in the qualifying on Sunday. He's standing by with our Matt Yoakum.
Well, in Duel 1, Kevin Harvick started shotgun on the field, nearly pulled off the win, finishing 4th. Martin Truex, that's where you're going to be starting, so he gives you definitely hope, but you've got a great race car.
I think we do. We haven't done a lot of drafting this week, but just trying to keep the thing safe. So, tonight will be a good little test to get ready for the 500, and of course it's a little bit cooler and all, but I think we'll learn quite a bit tonight we can use. So hopefully we'll be able to find some holes early, get up towards the front, and get a little racy and see what we got.
Thank you, Martin.
Danica Patrick starting 14th in the second duel tonight. And Danica, did you have a chance to watch that first race, and did you learn anything?
Yeah, I watched it. I did. It wasn't super crazy, but you could definitely see that if you want to make headway, you're going to have to use the car in front of you up a little bit and work the draft really well. So, yeah, but it all was pretty calm. And unfortunately, Billy and I were talking in the driver's meeting about how the duels normally go, and that normally they're different, as in one's crazy and one's not. So if the first one's crazy, the second one's calm, and vice versa. So I really hope that means that ours is not crazy, but we're ready for anything. We want to have as good a starting place for the 500 as we can, and it's all a great learning experience. I mean, with the charter system we're in, but you still want to learn as much as you can in this duel.
Well, unlike his teammate Denny Hamlin, who didn't have any teammates in his race, Carl does have teammates here. I'm sure you sat back there and you watched how things unfolded and what Denny did and didn't do. What did you learn?
It looked like Denny did a really good job, but man, the 88 car was fast and he made a lot of the right moves. You saw everybody line up, and I got to say, you guys in the booth did a really good job describing everything. I learned a lot listening to Jeff up there, so it's pretty cool to watch. I just hope we can work together. Our Toyotas have been really fast, and our Aris Toyota's been good, so just go out and have a good time, try not to wreck. I've been drinking Michael's Maxwell House. He's given me, I had a cup of coffee before this started, so if I can just keep everything in line here, we'll be all right.
All right, Carl Edwards starting from the front row, or second row.
All right, coming up, Denny Hamlin, who led 13 laps, and Carl Edwards just referring to him before Dale Earnhardt Jr. was able to win Duel 1. Denny will join us here in the Hollywood Hotel to get you ready for Duel 2.
One, two, 1, 2. Yep.
to have you watching live from Daytona here on FS1. Rick Hendrick there with Dale Earnhardt Jr., who had to put a move on the end to overtake Denny Hamlin in the 11 FedEx Joe Gibbs Toyotas. We welcome you inside the Hollywood Hotel trackside with Denny Hamlin. Boy, that was tough. You got out there, you led 13 laps. I know the goal was always to win. What else were you hoping to accomplish tonight?
Just win. Well, I mean, that's what we come here for, but really we haven't drafted that much with this car. So to kind of see how it stacked up versus the Unlimited car. We got a little bit of work to do, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it makes things difficult, obviously, when all of our Toyota teammates are in the next duel. But still, I noticed in the same positions that we could get a little bit more speed out of our car.
Yeah, you were the lone wolf in that. Jeff Gordon said in the broadcast, you're the kind of guy, you don't like sitting in line. You're not going to be patient. I mean, so this is something that whether you have teammates or not, you were going for it.
Well, it's a duel, and I mean, who wants to sit up by the fence and ride that for 50 laps? So, yeah, I mean, I'm willing to take my chances always. Make a line, start to form a line on the bottom to try to get the racing action going, and we were able to get it going there at the end.
We heard Dale Earnhardt Jr. said, hey, there's a lot of blocking going on out there, and we saw obviously Michael McDowell had to do that to race his way in. Is this kind of what we're going to see in the Daytona 500? You start 11th, by the way, in the Great American Race on Sunday.
Yeah, I think it is a leader-driven race. We've seen that in the past, and really, even tonight and last weekend, it is a leader-driven race. The 88 got such a big run on me. You have to anticipate it. The difference was last week I was able to anticipate what line that the 27 was going to go in. This time, I was the goalie. I faked. I went right. He went left.
And here we go.
I did such a bad job there.
Really? What could you have done better? He put out that was a patented Earnhardt move there.
I know, but he didn't get the monster run that I thought he got. I just flat out left the door open, so he walked right through it.
Well, and you left the door open to a guy who's pretty good at this track. Yep. I mean, as you are, does that matter who's there when you're in these situations? Whether I know this is different than the Daytona 500, but that is your ultimate goal.
Absolutely. I mean, me and the 88 have had so many duels at the end of these races, finishing 1-2 in one order or another. And trust me, when I was leading, he's not the guy that I wanted to see second, because usually when he backs up to the third place guy, that person is always committed to pushing him instead of passing him. So I knew I was in trouble, but I was hoping we'd hold it all.
And the talk has been about the Joe Gibbs Toyotas and the Hendrick Chevrolets here all through Speed Week. So now Jimmy Johnson is going to be the lone wolf in race 2 for Hendrick Motorsports. What do you expect out of him?
Well, I think he's fast. I think his car's fast. I think we saw that in practice earlier today. He was, about 3 miles an hour faster than everyone else, single car. Whether that translates into drafting speed or not, it remains to be seen. And yeah, he's going to have a tough task ahead of him racing those Gibbs team cars.
Now, before we let you go, Denny, just an overview of what we've seen tonight that you think we'll see on Sunday. What kind of race we should look for? You already talked about getting out front, staying out front.
Yeah, it's going to be super important to stay out front, no doubt about it. I think whoever's leading with 5 to go has probably got a good chance to win this thing. But I actually thought the race was a little bit dicier than the 150s have been in the past. So I expect the same thing tonight.
All right, well, good luck. Thanks for coming by. Denny Hamlin in the FedEx Toyota will be watching. He'll get back to some work. And Denny, what kind of shot does this guy have? Looks like a statue. Do you think he's nervous?
That's a lot of hair coloring right there.
All right. We'll see how Michael Waltrip could do in the second duel. There's a reason to hang around, right? Nice hair, right? Oh. We did. Okay.
Green flag, all rolling good. All rolling. Green. It's all good, man. It's all good. 4 is outside, last car up top. Should have pushed hard if you want to there. Stay up very top here. All rolling good. 2 back, Brad. He's got a group that's catching him over. Your lane's moving good. 3 has room. 3 has half a car room. It's all good in front of you, man. Pick him down. Watch him coming across here. One more here, 144.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. will win his dual race for the 2nd year in a row.
And the last winner of the dual race who went on to win the Daytona 500 in the same year, that was in 2012, and that was Matt Kenseth. Dale Earnhardt Jr. with a chance to do that. Sprint Cup champ Kyle Busch ready for Duel 2 here on FS1, a 2-time winner in this race. And standing by with our Matt Yoakum.
Kyle Busch will roll off from the front row starting second. So having fun with his teammate Carl Lewis. What are you focusing on most in your duel? What do you want to learn that you can put used to on Sunday?
I guess essentially to see how good our M&M's race car is. You know, we feel like our Camrys are fast and have good speed. Showed that in single car qualifying, but now we want to make sure that we've got some of that for us for the rest of the guys, for the rest of the field in the Daytona 500 on Sunday. So right now is our first chance to be able to learn that and see what we got. And of course, too, you know, make sure our handling's good, those things, but try to win. You know, if we can win this thing, that puts us right back to where we start. You know, after qualifying for the Daytona 500, and that would be the best spot for us.
2 dual wins, chasing a third.
Well, Ty Dillon had an issue in practice yesterday, and that set you guys back a little bit. How did that affect you, knowing you didn't get all that drafting practice you wanted?
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate for our Cheerios, Kroger, Chevy. We were planning on doing some drafting right there and kind of fill our car out, see what it does in draft, and had a little bit of an unfortunate circumstance, and but we got out there today and made sure the car was still running good. We had no issues. So this will be our first run in the draft, and I don't really have much experience. I ran here last year, the Daytona 500. I have ran a lot of races here in other cars, though, but looking forward to getting that experience and learning as much as possible and hopefully get in the front of this thing.
All right, Ty Dillon rolling off 8th in duel number 2.
Thanks, Jamie. The Hendrick Chevrolet swept both dual races last season. They can do that here if Jimmy Johnson gets to victory lane. There is crew chief Chad Knaus chatting with Rick Hendrick, who will race their way in. 1 spot left for the Daytona 500. The winner here tonight, the early favorite for the Daytona 500, only cementing that confidence in the 88 Nationwide Chevrolet, Dale Earnhardt Jr. That was Duel 1. What's going to happen in Duel 2? Let's go back upstairs to Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Gordon, and Mike Joy. Guys?
Thanks, Chris. Getting ready for race number 2 to set the outside lane for Sunday's Daytona 500. Now, we're talking during break, in the 40 or so years Darrell and I have been coming down here, there is one truism about Thursday in Daytona. If the first Can-Am Duel race is calm, the second one is wide open, or vice versa. What do you expect in race 2?
Yeah, I think we saw some great action. We saw some great racing side-by-side, battles for the lead. But what we didn't see was the really wild action and the crashes and spins that we've seen. So I think you're going to see a lot more action. Now that that first race was calm, this one's going to get a little wilder, and you know those drivers are thinking about that too.
So drivers may take more chances, but track position, Darrell, is so important. If you have a 7-car draft and you're 6th and you jump out of line, you're only going back to 7. When you have a 20-car draft and you jump out of line, well, we saw it in the race number 1.
Yeah, I think relationships, I think that's something that you kind of build as you go along in these 150s. You find out who you can trust, who will work with you. You can depend on a guy to be there for you. And the other key word in that race, I think, was anticipation. You heard Dale Jr. say that there was a lot of blocking going on. And you heard Denny Hamlin say, I knew I should have gone to the right, but he went to the left. I left the door wide open. So they were experiencing it. The other guys down there were watching it.
We thought that race looked pretty tame. Denny said it was pretty wild. What's the difference?
Well, what I really liked is Denny calling himself out. Yeah. He saw that after watching on video how Junior got that momentum and got the pass and got to his inside. But yeah, I think that he thought it was pretty dicey. And I think if you look at some of the action that happened in the middle or the beginning of the race, a little bit in the middle, a little bit there at the end, it was kind of dicey. But I don't think it was anything quite like what we're getting ready to see. I think that they might not be as dicey as passing, but I think that they're going to see that the grip really goes away on these tires after they get a lot of laps on them.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. in victory lane, doing the hat dance. Sponsor 1, sponsor 2. We're number 1. Give me another hat. And then Rick and Linda Hendrick and the whole team put all their caps on backwards and pointed skyward in a tribute to their late son, Ricky Hendrick. Touching and a great moment. There's Jimmy Johnson at the ready, Kyle Busch, Samantha. Kurt Busch and some well-wishers, including car owner Gene Haas. Everybody getting ready to set the outside lane for the Daytona 500. And we go trackside for the command.
Here to deliver the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshal, Acting Vice President of Parts, Accessories, and Clothing Division for BRP Incorporated, John Fleury.
Drivers, start your engine.
"22 drivers, 150 miles, 20 starting spots at stake in the Daytona 500 next."
Follow up on.
Okay. You guys got anything?
Crash. Oh, spin into the wall. Holy smoly. I love this race, too.
That was not a video game. That was real life.
The Can-Am Duel at Daytona on FS1, race number 2. Following the safety car out onto the racetrack, single file, they'll form up and get ready to roll here. Nice crowd on hand for a Thursday as Daytona's big speed weekend begins. The first point race will be tomorrow. That'll be the Camping World Truck Series live on FS1, then the Xfinity Series on Saturday, Daytona 500 on Sunday. And that's just the start of the Sprint Cup season. We move on to Atlanta next weekend, then Phoenix and beyond with the West Coast swing. So let's have a look at the starting lineup for race number 2. 4 dual wins on the front row between Toyota teammates Matt Kenseth and Kyle Busch.
We got 6-time champion Jimmie Johnson. He's a 2-time dual winner. Won this thing last year along with Carl Edwards, one of the 3 JGR cars that are starting up front.
In row 3, we've got Kurt Busch starting 5th, and in 6, Casey Mears, who's finished in the top 10 in the last 2 Daytona 500s.
In row 4, it was Ty Dillon's oil leak that caused the damage to Ryan Newman's car in practice yesterday, but everything all repaired. They're ready to go.
Yeah, we got Eric Almirola there. He's the 2014 July winner down here, along with Jamie McMurray, and Jamie's a Daytona 500 winner as well.
And in row 6, in the 11th position, Kyle Larson going to a backup car. He's going to keep it exciting coming from the back, and next to him, Matt DiBenedetto.
Michael Waltrip also involved in that practice crash. He will go to the rear. Danica Patrick finished the dual best top 10 last year.
A.J. Allmendinger, I think he kind of likes these duels. He's had top 5s in the last 6 of these things. And Michael Annette, who finished 13th last year in the 500.
And in row 9, starting 17th, Landon Castle. And next to him, somebody that could go back on their times, but is going to probably have to race their way in here, Robert Richardson Jr.
Also trying to race in are David Gilliland and Reed Sorensen. Their only opportunity to make the 500 is to be the first of those open cars at the flag.
Yeah, Martin Truex, he didn't get a chance to qualify, had a roof flap issue, and then Brian Vickers, who failed the tech as well because of the track bar issue. So they're starting at the rear of the field.
Well, in race 1, we talked to the last place starter. Jeff, let's go to the front.
Matt Kenseth, this is Jeff Gordon up in the Fox Sports booth. You got me?
Hey, Jeff, I got you loud and clear. I never thought you'd be talking to me in a race car.
Yeah, this is a first for me, too. Hey, you know how to get it done here at Daytona. You've won one of these duels before. You've won the Daytona 500 twice. Tell us a little bit about what you're thinking about after you saw what happened in Duel 1. What's your strategy?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I'm thinking about is I'm glad the 88 was in that duel. He looks like he's really stout. I've never been in the front row of the 500 before. We certainly want to start this car there, but we also need to get it some race conditions and see what we have for Sunday. So we're just planning on dropping the hammer here in a minute, and hopefully we can get our Dollar General Camry somewhere out front and keep it there.
Well, unlike your teammate in that first one, Denny Hamlin, where it was a lot of those Hendrick cars against him, you've got 2 of your teammates there to work on Jimmie Johnson. So good luck.
Appreciate it.
Matt Kenseth has won his dual race in 2 of the last 4 years. Let's get down to pit road. First to Chris Neville.
Well, Mike, reigning Sprint Cup champion Kyle Busch said he is going to race hard tonight. His crew chief, Adam Stevens, wants him to aggressively defend track position. Joe Gibbs Racing didn't win a restrictor plate race in 2015, and that's a top goal in 2016. And Adam Stevens says it's going to be pit box selection and a starting position for the Daytona 500 that is the first steps towards changing that goal. Matt?
Chris, tonight's a great opportunity for Jimmie Johnson. Earlier today, he and his team worked on drivability and speed. This will be a great test to see if they have indeed hit upon the right path. Now, the other area they're working on, he wants to be aggressive yet smart, because they're looking at the big picture for Sunday. A great run tonight means a great pit stall selection for the 500. Jimmy Little?
Well, Martin Truex Jr. and that 78 team are trying to put the drama of the roof flap behind him. I just talked to Martin and asked him what his plan is right now, starting next to last. And he said, I need to make my moves quickly. The longer you wait, the harder it is. But he said at the same time, we only participated in one practice session out of 3. We're not sure how this car is going to draft, but if he does get up there, Mike, he has a bunch of Toyota teammates waiting to help him out.
He sure does. 3 of the Gibbs cars there. Thanks, Jamie. Let's bring in Larry McReynolds. Larry, did you see anything in race 1 that might alter your strategy for race 2?
Well, I know my 2 drivers over there, they learned a lot, but from the crew chief standpoint, I know Joey Logano, he was the only driver that went with 4 tires and almost pulled it off, finished second, but I just believe spend the least amount of time on pit road as you can. I think that will win this race. Now, let's take a look at the race analysis, just like duel number 1. 60 laps, 150 miles, pit road speed, 55 miles per hour. There's the fuel window. 40 to 46 laps. To the rear, you see Brian Vickers, Kyle Larson, and Michael Waltrip. But I'm like Jamie Little. I think Martin Truex Jr. coming from the rear, he's going to be one to watch.
Thanks, Larry. About Brian Vickers, he is in for Tony Stewart, who was injured in an off-road sandrail accident down in the dunes there of Arizona. So Vickers is the substitute while Stewart heals, but Smoke has 2-way radio control with his driver. Here we go.
Hey driver, have some fun. Do you need me? I'm here. 10-4. Yes sir, buddy. Thanks for the opportunity. It means the world. Get better for us and do the best I can till you get back. Yeah, just be smart in this thing. You'll be fine. You know what you're doing. 10-4.
Stewart landed hard out in the desert, sustained a burst vertebra, and that was operated on here in Charlotte, so he is recuperating.
But that right there shows you his passion for racing and how much this team means to him. You know, being on the radio, helping to guide Brian Vickers. I mean, what a great veteran driver to be able to fall back on to help get yourself reacquainted with the draft here at Daytona.
Yeah, here's Jeff Gordon talking to Matt Kenseth. Matt said, I never thought I'd hear that on the parade lap there. And then here's Tony Stewart talking to Brian Vickers. And I'm thinking Brian probably, I never thought I'd hear that either. So what a night.
Here in Daytona, the flags are out straight. It's a windy night. Wind still out of the northeast, down to 57 degrees now, under clear skies. Leading the field down the back straightaway, the 2016 Toyota Camry XSE is the safety car tonight. You see the light bar, the Whelen light bar across the top of the roof. Those lights are out. That's the signal to the drivers that we go green next time by. Now, a clarification about Martin Truex, who will start this race near the back. He did not get to post a qualifying lap on Sunday, but was not disqualified when inspectors noticed something awry with the roof flap on his car. Instead, NASCAR is reporting his team was sent back to the inspection station to fix that, send him back through. When that happens, they put them on the 5-minute clock, and they did not present their car back to the line within the 5 minutes. So they are counted as a DNS. It did not start in qualifying and are lined up in front of the cars that did receive post-qualifying penalties. Now we have open teams and chartered teams here as well. 18 chartered teams. These are the teams without a charter that are not guaranteed a spot in the 500. Matt DiBenedetto is the fastest of those, and his biggest fan right now is Robert Richardson. Richardson could race in, as could David Gilliland or Reed Sorensen. But if DiBenedetto falls back on that time trial spot, Richardson would have to finish the first of those 4. Same goes for the other 2 drivers to make the 500. 22 cars will race 50 laps to set the outside lane for Sunday. Pace car is in, green flags in the air. Here we go.
And you're clear, all clear.
Matt Kenseth assumes command.
Yeah, I don't know if that was planned to get all three JGR cars in line there, but that was a nice start. Matt doing a great job getting up there and recognizing that those teammates are up there and getting in front of them.
The 20, the 18, and the 19 in the outside lane. 1, 2, 3. Pack forming up on the inside. That's led by the 48 of Jimmy Johnson and the 41 of Kurt Busch.
It was amazing how fast that 48 car was in single car runs in practice this morning. He was about 3 miles an hour faster than the cars that made on track this morning. Be interesting to see if he can work his way to the lead here. It's going to be hard to get by all three of those Toyotas, though.
Yeah, it's nice to know that you've got the speed in the car, but when you're out there in the draft, what kind of speed do you have when you're getting that push, when you're sucking up to that draft in front of, from the car in front of you, and are you going to have that speed? Is it going to correlate over to race conditions?
Yeah, it's 3 against 1 right now. I mean, Jimmy's down there trying to make it on the inside, and those Gibbs Toyotas seem to have worked something out here that they're going to work together.
Toward the back, they were 3 wide. Michael Annett tried it way on the inside, got no help. They're back to double file behind the 3 leaders.
There's no hole.
And if I know Jimmy Johnson well, he recognized after qualifying on Sunday that there were going to be 3 JGR Toyotas in this race that he was going to get teamed up against. He started making friends with a lot of these other drivers out there to see who he could have as his ally.
Well, the answer to that would be none.
All right.
Right now, he is going back.
Now, you heard Earl Barbin saying no hole. That means there's nowhere for Johnson to move up into that outside lane.
And you just, Mike, you cannot force your way in. Now, he might be able to slide in right here.
Clear.
Get up in front of Danica, right behind the 43 of Almirola. That might work out all right.
The spotter doesn't drive the car. He can't, not from that position. But he's your blind spot guidance.
Absolutely. I actually saw a space there where he could have gotten into that space. But right now, you're in the duel. You need to be a little bit conservative. So that was a nice conservative move. And only 1 car went by before he was actually able to get up in line. He's actually behind Eric Almirola, who's they're buddies. These guys, they go riding bikes together. I guarantee you they've already talked about how they can work together, even though they're not the same manufacturers.
12 cars, single file, and Matt DiBenedetto right now is in the transfer spot.
And it really doesn't matter. You're not looking for a teammate necessarily. You just want somebody that can help you. You don't have to work for me, but will you just try not to work against me?
Absolutely, and you're looking right now to already start making some friends, building some relationships, because you're going to need somebody to help you out in the Daytona 500 and in this race.
And that's been a problem for Kurt Busch. He has fallen all the way back to 14th. First car on the inside in that second pack.
But those relationships start on the track with the spotters. The spotters start to talk to the driver. The driver says, go tell the spotter of the 41 car, let's do this. Or they can't talk to each other, but they can talk to their spotter. That spotter can talk to the spotter on top of the roof with him.
Yeah, I find it really interesting right now that we saw what happened in the first race. We heard Denny Hamlin talk about how dicey it was, and it seems like these drivers are more in line of let's get in line and let's check out from the field and let's get down to the end of the race and decide it among ourselves and see what happens on that green flag pit stop.
Well, the reason for that is those 3 JGR cars up there. They pretty much are dictating the flow of this race right now. They want to follow each other. They don't want to race each other. That's making everybody else fall in line behind them.
And that's all it takes sometimes. In the last race, we saw where Dale Earnhardt Jr. was up there, and we saw Brad Keselowski, and we saw Joey Logano. They were being very aggressive, wanting to make moves to get by the leader in Dale Earnhardt Jr. Right now, we've got 3 cars that are very content being nose to tail up front.
It's an 11-car breakaway, that front pack. And interestingly, the only one of those 11 who started on the inside was pole sitter Matt Kenseth. He just brought the entire outside row with him. They are nice and orderly, paying attention, getting good grades, and look at the truants behind them. Now that swarm has formed up. They've gone single file trying to run down the lead pack.
Well, I tell you, a guy that really made a huge gain right on the start there was a 78 of Martin Truex. He started dead last. He's up to 11th at the tail end of this lead draft. Nice run already by the 78 car.
That team's owner, Barney Visser, likes a flat black paint job, but the team convinced him for Daytona and Talladega the car needed to be slick and shiny to get through the wind. That's the only place you'll see it polished up like this.
Yeah, every little detail aerodynamically on these bodies, you're going to try to gain every advantage you can. So I think it's really smart of them to do that.
Yeah, you remember that they were in a Chevrolet last year. They switched to Toyota. The Truex team did over the offseason, and he hadn't had a lot of practice with this car.
Oh, sparks from the bottom of Michael Waltrip's car going off into turn 1. The 83, that is a backup car.
Yeah, typically you'll see that on the corners, not on the straightaway.
Right. The Joe Gibbs Toyotas run 1, 2, 3. Third is Carl Edwards. We listened in.
Down just a little bit on my gauges. I'm just wondering, like next time we run at night, I want my dash to be dimmer, not as bright.
First year with the glass panel or digital dash that NASCAR has mandated for this season. Guess they don't have a driver adjustable brightness control.
Yeah, the driver can't adjust his brightness right now, but they will be able to do that. Of course, we run the Daytona 500 during the day, but the next time they go to a night race, like Carl pointed out, I want the contrast changed just a little bit there.
Yeah, well, that glare would be annoying. Sure. If that thing is real bright and it's glaring in your face, it could be a real big distraction to you.
11 cars have broken away by 2.4 seconds from the other half of this field. 8 laps complete of 60.
Sparky.
You don't think that's his hair, do you?
Working for him.
Running in 4th place right now, driver the number 13, Casey Mears, had a chance to spend some time on the Geico Super Cycle. Right now, he's running 190 miles an hour around the Super Speedway in Daytona, also home of Bike Week. In March, Supercross, Daytona 200. It is Toyota, 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 Chevy, Chevy, Mears and Ty Dillon.
That little 13 car, I tell you, it's a single car team. Booty Barker, crew chief on that car. They've had a good speed week so far.
When we went to break, it was 2.4 seconds from 11th to 12th place. Now that gap has shrunk to 1 second.
That's good communication. That second group said if we get in line and we stay together, we can catch that group back. And guess what they're going to do when they get to that group? They're going to stay right there. They're going to try that again.
Now Truex, 193 miles an hour, last car in the lead pack. Ryan Newman is pulling that second pack, and he's 1 to 2 miles an hour quicker.
Yeah, that back group there, they were side by side a little bit, trying to jockey for position to see who wanted to try to make a move or make one position up. They finally realized, let's get in line, let's go catch that group. There's such a big hole of air being punched from that first group. Once you get in line, there's a really good chance you're going to run them back down.
There's some good cars right there. You know, you got Kurt Busch and right behind Newman in the 31, and A.J. Allmendinger's in there, Vickers in there. That's some Larson's back there. Some good cars.
The question is, when they catch them, do they want to get in line, or do they want to try to do what we saw Denny Hamlin do, make some moves? Let's get them side by side and see what they got.
I'm going to say, when I catch them, I'm not going to make that mistake of losing them again.
Oh, and Truex drops down and picks up Newman. He knew they were coming, so he dropped down to cover the spot.
That's a great move. That's when you're that last car, you know the push is coming. You know the momentum's there, and you know that if they go to the bottom, if you get down in front of them, you're going to make up some positions.
Now at the tail end is the red 42 Chevrolet of Kyle Larson. That is a backup car after yesterday's practice crash. Chris?
Yeah, Mike, I talked to his crew chief, Chad Johnson, about that, already being in a backup car, and would that change his philosophy tonight? And he said, no, we're still planning on racing hard, because the car that we raced in the Sprint Unlimited, that car already went back to Charlotte, was prepped again for the race and sent back down. It arrived here at noon today. So he said, if we need to go to a third car, we've got it.
Ooh, easy, buddy. Kyle Larson right in the middle there. And got the 14 car of Vickers on the outside of him.
David Gilliland was on the inside trying to race his way in. Matt DiBenedetto holds the transfer spot right now. Robert Richardson behind. There's the 93 of DiBenedetto. He'll run the 83 the rest of the season.
But Mike, what you saw happen there is that group caught the second pack, caught up to the first one. But look, they tried. They made a little run because they had momentum. But in the end, they had to get back in line and just follow along.
Allmendinger with the group on the bottom, seeing if the shorter way around proves to be quicker. Not so. They're back single file in the straightaway.
As long as those JGR Toyotas up there maintain that high line, that outside lane, we've seen this happen many times through different portions of the longer races in the 500. You're really challenging somebody to take that bottom lane and form a group, but it takes a lot of organization. You got to have a lot of people come with you. I thought when that group caught them, that they were going to start peeling off and getting in front of that group and start making some headway, but then all of a sudden it dissipated.
They're right back where they were when they caught them. They made it. They had that momentum. They caught them. Newman did. He thought, man, I got the speed. I'm going to be able to pass these guys. But you can see he had to fall right back in behind Truex in the 78, and there they are. They can't go anywhere.
Larry, with this rules package, if they continue to run this close together, single file, and nobody darts out, is overheating a concern?
Well, as long as you don't get any trash on the grill, which we have seen that all of Speed Weeks. But you know, NASCAR, they mandate the opening in the front end. Now you can tape it up and make it smaller, which obviously helps the aerodynamics. But I think as cool as it is outside, as long as you don't get debris on the grill, Mike, you're just fine.
Thanks, Larry. 19 of 60 laps complete this time around. The Joe Gibbs Toyotas holding court in Daytona.
change order here, that'll definitely bring some of those other guys up.
And still they come, 16 cars in a row, within 2 seconds of one another after 22 of 60 laps. Matt Kenseth is trying to put the field to sleep here. He's led all 22 laps with teammates Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards right behind him. Casey Mears, the Chevrolet, locked into fourth behind the 3 Toyotas. How about the leader, Matt?
Mike Lauren-Ranier, a veteran spotter, who's filling in for Chris Osborne, Kenseth's normal spotter, due to a highway car accident. He was telling Matt there is debris on the grill. You can see it start pushing water out at that right front corner. He was working on a game plan with the 18, their teammate of Kyle Busch, to try to maybe drop down and then slide up so that way they can try to get the debris off the grill.
Boy, that wouldn't work too well for Brad Keselowski Saturday night, but here goes Busch. If he can get in front of Kenseth, that air pressure differential may help dislodge the debris.
Do you know how beautiful that was? Do you know how hard that is to do? To pull down and pass your teammate and not lose a spot, blow the trash off your grill and keep on going.
That's the advantage of having a veteran champion driver now in Kyle Busch, and such a veteran in Matt Kenseth, to be able to make that move and make it look so flawless and get the debris right off. That was fantastic.
That's almost impossible to do, and they just pulled it off. Just a thing of beauty. Really impressed with that.
Would you like to see it again?
Oh,
Absolutely.
I'd love to see it again.
Perfect. As they go in the corner, Matt's on the high line. You see Kyle Busch just dive to the inside. They don't even lose any momentum. Here comes the 19 of Carl Edwards, just gets right up in behind his teammate. Now the question is, are they going to swap back?
Yeah, but here's what the 19 was the control car. He left a gap between he and the 18 so he can make that move without anybody jumping all over him. So I think Carl Edwards had a big role in making that happen.
Yes, Casey Mears or Ty Dillon had no chance to drop down and capitalize and make it a side-by-side battle.
Exactly.
They're not coupled together, but it sure looks like a freight train racing along at 190. 16 cars strong. Then it's another 7 seconds back to Robert Richardson and David Gilliland and Michael Waltrip, Michael Annett. Brian Vickers has gained 10 spots since the start of this race. The position of the Panhard rod, the track bar in the rear suspension, was outside of NASCAR tolerance after the qualifying laps, so his, along with Kevin Harvick's, laps were disallowed, and Vickers had to start this race from the rear.
Whatever advice Tony was giving him, it's paying off.
Yeah, and what that Panhard rod does, you run it way down on the right side. It kind of drives that corner of the car down, which tries to get the spoiler out of the air a little bit more. So there is an advantage to doing that.
Now, I know that it looks like they're just in a train and they're riding along here at 200 miles per hour. It's anything but that when you're inside the car. After you get this many laps on the tires, the cars start moving around. You have a lot of turbulence in the air. There's not much downforce getting in your car. You get into that position that we just showed Jimmy Johnson in, and it's really easy to get that car out of shape. Yeah, they want to know what the cars are going to handle like, but it's not fun to be in this position. They're getting very frustrated and want to move further ahead and get further up in the line.
You know, for Christmas, a lot of folks got surround sound systems, so we invite them. We'll stand silent for a lap or two. We invite you all to take that volume knob and crank it up. 29 laps complete, halfway next time by. It's now a 15-car lead draft. Ryan Newman comes by sounding very off song.
Well, remember that car was involved in a spin yesterday.
Might have broke a valve spring. It's probably going to here. I'd come in and check it out.
Now that's team owner Richard Childress.
Valve spring then dropped.
Probably could have hurt that engine yesterday when he spun that car out. They fixed the body, but it could have hurt the engine as well.
Teams are allowed one engine change between this race and the 500 without penalty.
The reason Richard wants him to come in and check it out, because if you don't, it'll blow up. And right now you can salvage the engine.
Here's what happened yesterday in practice. An oil leak developed on Ty Dillon's car. Kurt Busch right behind it, but a little further back. Michael Waltrip got in the back of Newman's 31. And the 35, David Gilliland, got into Waltrip.
Now, did you see what the wheels, the rear wheels, they were going forward, but then when he spun, all of a sudden they started going backwards, and that's when you can hurt the engine.
Yeah, those engine builders do not like to see those rear tires go backwards.
Nope.
Newman is locked into the 500, but he is off pace at this moment. Let's get a little more team communication.
It's all lined up. 41's too far back right now, but he wants to go with you when you do. I got the 10, 14, 41. I'll say they'll go to the bottom with you. Go up front.
Jimmy Johnson pulling to the inside of Martin Truex. Now the 43 of Eric Almirola. And Johnson drops into line in 8th place. Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, Carl Edwards lead with 29 to go.
See, that's what happens. Looking.
"35 laps complete as Kyle Busch leads them to the stripe. Matt Kenseth led the first 23 laps, picked up a piece of trash on the grill, started to overheat. His teammate Kyle Busch moved in front of him so Kenseth could pull up to the tail of Kyle's car, clear the grill. And that has been the only lead change of this race so far. They will need one pit stop, and if they stay green, Larry, when?
Well, based on the first duel, Mike, the leader started coming at lap 39, which is about 4 laps from now. So I look for more of the same. Now, what I do believe is those 3 Joe Gibbs Toyota drivers, they will come together. I still think most of the field would go with fuel only, but let's don't lose sight of watching Matt DiBenedetto, Robert Richardson Jr., David Gilliland, and Reed Sorensen. Those are the open drivers trying to race their way in. What happens on their pit stop?
DiBenedetto is locked into the 500 on speed, but right now he is leading that group in 10th place overall. Now Richardson, if DiBenedetto races in, as Ryan Blaney did in the first race, then Richardson gets into the 500 on speed. Gilliland and Sorensen must race their way in, and they're out of position to do that right now.
Yeah, there's some action down the back there. A couple of cars pulled out. I don't know if we're going to go anywhere or not, but we're going to try.
Teammates Kurt Busch and Danica Patrick from Stewart-Haas Racing.
If you can pick up 1 or 2 spots by yourself or in a small group, it's worth taking the risk, especially when you're at the back of this group. Also, they know pit stops are coming, and why not take some risk and gain a few spots before those green flag stops come.
Yeah, and the other thing, I think everybody's waiting for the pit stop. Let's see how we shake out after the stop. Who's still in the pack and who we got to race after the stop.
And for all the fans watching at home going, well, they're just in line. I promise you, they're not going to stay this content all the way to the end. Everybody wants to win this race, but right now they know that it doesn't really count because they know a green flag stop's coming and a good chance of another caution.
And radio chatter indicates that stop is coming on this lap for those 3 Gibbs Toyotas.
Come on down here. Do not slide them. Best you can. Do not slide them.
With this many cars in a pack, you got to be careful.
Here comes almost everybody.
Do not slide them. 45.
Matt Yoakum.
And Matt Kenseth making his way to his pit stall at the end of pit road right off turn 4. We're going to see many up and down pit road fuel only. Meanwhile, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson chassis adjustment because this car was too free on entry. Chris.
Carl Edwards saying his car feeling very different than what it was here Saturday night. The car a bit loose, so just going to be no tires on this stop, just fuel. Kyle Busch also good stop down here. No tires on that car. His car is saying good up front, but when he was following Matt Kenseth, that car a little bit free into turn 1.
Now Carl Edwards did not exit pit road with his 2 teammates. Eric Almirola stayed on the racetrack, and he will pit this time around. He was the only car not to pit.
Now, believe it or not, there are some advantages to what Eric Almirola is doing here. When you're by yourself, you have the ability to go all the way to your braking zone as you get to pit road, and you can gain a lot of speed that way.
Now, Almirola was the only car in the lead pack of 15 not to pit. Here comes Michael Waltrip, Michael Annett, Reed Sorensen, Landon Castle.
Look who made the big move on that pit stop, which I think that's what he was waiting for. Jimmy Johnson. He's right back up there now and right behind Kyle Busch and Matt Kenseth, right where he wants to be. So he knew that pit stop was coming. That's what he was waiting on.
He entered the pits 8th, came out 3rd.
Yeah, nice stop, good strategy. Pass them into pits. It's really easier that way.
Now, as you watch, you see these 3 getting a bit of a gap on the next 5 cars. But there's a pretty good chance that the momentum, and we saw this as they caught that pack earlier, as these next 5 catch up, it's all up to Casey Mears. Does he want to get up there and make a move? When he catches the 48 cars, the 48 going to take some of that pack of air and that momentum and that draft and try to make a move? Or is he content with staying in line right here until they get down to the closing laps?
Now, what got Jimmy Johnson up to 3rd was that 3.8 second stop, Larry.
Well, we always like looking at the 2 laps that includes the pit stop because this has to do with the crew and the driver. And that right there is the reason that Jimmy Johnson, Chad Canals, that 48 team made up all the ground. Again, that's 2 laps, including the trip to pit road.
Yeah, one thing that worries me because of that quick stop and Johnson was in there, I mean, that's going to be borderline on fuel.
We're also being told they're telling him to conserve fuel, which tells me they just barely put enough to get to the end.
Exactly. Yeah, that's going to be real borderline.
Well, and the question is, when he was in line further back in the pack, and we were kind of interested to see that he wasn't further up, was he saving fuel? That was a great opportunity for him to save fuel, so they didn't need quite as much on that pit stop.
Now, his actual stop was 1 second quicker than that of Kyle Busch, who's now leading this race.
Yeah, I tell you, a guy that's a little antsy here, and he's probably not happy about his pit stop, is that 19 of Carl Edwards. Fell back pretty far, and see what happened to Carl on his pit stop.
Chris?
Well, Mike, Carl Edwards actually just radioed into the team apologizing for the pit stop. He said, guys, I was just impatient on that. I moved on you there, so it was a little bit slower than we anticipated. And you can see they lost about four spots on the racetrack.
I think that's one of the reasons why we watch these guys in practice, particularly today, come in and out of the pits, practicing, get on and off a pit road, and it paid off for the ones that have worked at it really hard.
I tell you something I noticed on the 19 car. Remember, in post-race, NASCAR gives them a tolerance in the rear height. They not only put fuel in the car, they lowered the rear of the car down.
Jimmy Johnson, running third, was just told by Chad Knaus they are good to go on fuel. Now, that's if this race goes its advertised 50 laps. Or 60 laps. NASCAR has a new overtime rule. It's no longer up to 3 attempts at green, white, checker. And if it comes into play, we'll fully explain it. But the upshot is this race could go a lot longer than 60 laps if multiple overtime restarts are needed.
I think Jimmy Johnson's best friend right now is Casey Mears in that 13 car. They're going to have to see if they can work some magic here as this race winds down.
Yeah, you've got 2 Chevrolets there working together, as well as two good friends. These guys used to race together years and years ago.
Toward the end of this line is 8th place Martin Truex, running right there behind Kurt Busch. Jamie?
Well, his plan of attack was working early. He was making his moves and working his way to the front. He was inside the top 10. After that pit stop, they only took fuel, by the way, no changes. He ducked down low to the bottom side to try to hook up with the 19, another Toyota of Carl Edwards. Well, he didn't have any help, so he got hung out to dry, and now he's even farther back than he was.
Michael Waltrip makes another return visit to pit road. Ryan Newman went to the garage earlier with that engine difficulty. Both those cars are locked into the Daytona 500. Matt DiBenedetto has the transfer spot. Robert Richardson would get in on speed the way they run right now.
Mike, I tell you, when I see that 20 car in my rearview mirror, I'd be worried. Matt Kenseth is a crafty driver, and we've said it time and time again. It reminds me of David Pearson. He's sitting there and you're looking in your mirror and you're always wondering, does he have anything left? What is he going to do? Because he always seems to know exactly where to go and what to do.
David Pearson won 105 of these races, second most all time.
Something that you're going to see here, that front group is running a high line. It's just a line that they're real comfortable with running. They can learn what that high line is like, get everybody to follow them. But what I like is what the second group is doing. They're trying to catch that group, and even though they want to draft and use the air coming off that front group, they're shortcutting the corner by running a lower line. And that's really about their only hope right now of catching this group before this race comes to an end. If there's not a caution, it's just run that shorter line, and there's a good chance they could do that. They're running maybe a little bit faster than that lead group.
Yeah, I don't know, Jeff. I looked at the times. It's going to be really hard. Allmendinger's pulling that crowd around there, and that gap's saying about 4.3 seconds, not closing down much.
And all 5 of those cars are locked into the 500. Remember back in race 1 when the 3 Roush Fenway Fords dropped to the back to run by themselves? Well, they ended up right together, but not at the back. 8th, 9th, and 10th. So they'll start midfield. There's the difference. They all sweep up to the high lane on the straightaway. But that second group looking for the short way around. Jamie?
A.J. Allmendinger, you guys mentioned him. Some new things happening with that team this year. He has a new crew chief in Randall Burnett. They also made some new hires. Ernie Cope is now overseeing operations. And AJ told us yesterday as a group, they've got about 8 brand new race cars sitting in their shop. He said they're way ahead of the game already this year, and the speed so far in this car he's happy with, and he just radioed the team and said, tell the guys up there, let's start racing.
Thanks, Jamie. Now it's about 9 seconds from the first to the second pack, as we see from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything they learned making tires for the grueling demands of NASCAR inspires what rolls into yours. Goodyear, official tire of NASCAR.
That second group made a little bit of a headway there. Picked up a couple of tenths, but that's not going to be enough to get up there.
No, but I thought that was a really good point. AJ Allmendinger's leading that second group, running that shorter line. He wants those guys to start racing side by side up in front of him. He wants them to get side by side, slow that group down, and you'll be amazed how fast you can catch that group when they get side by side.
Carl Edwards is separated from his 2 teammates by 3 Chevrolets. What can he do to advance from 6th? We listened in.
78's itching back there. He wants to go. I told him we're chilling right now, and he wants to go back there as well. I'll keep you posted if he makes any moves. If we go now, those other 5 will catch us. So let's wait till about 4 to go, 3 to go.
They're going to count it down.
Well, again, that second group made a little bit of a gain. Once you get to a certain point there, that second group, they're going to really start to feel the effect of the draft. You're on the same straightaway now, about halfway down as the leaders. You're going to start feeling that, and that's going to really pick up that second group and drag them right back into this thing, maybe before this race runs out of time.
Race leader Kyle Busch compared to AJ Allmendinger leading that second pack. Somewhere 1 mile, somewhere 2 miles an hour difference.
Yeah, you hear us talk about all the time, particularly when we're making single car runs and trying to figure how fast our car is. If there's a car on the same straightaway with you, sometimes you can get a minor effect, but these guys right now, they're getting closer and closer, and that draft's going to start to kick in here, and then they're really going to close up in a hurry.
That's exactly what I was going to say, DW, is as they get a little bit closer, they start getting more of the effects of that draft, and they'll start reeling them in much, much faster. Then the other thing that comes into play here, they're pretty calm right now. They've been in line for most of this race. When they catch that group, all of a sudden, everything breaks up and the adrenaline just goes through the roof now once you get side by side.
Well, you heard the spotter say the 41 wanted to do something. If those guys could catch him and make a move down to the bottom, he could jump down there with them and maybe make some headway.
9 laps to go. Matt DiBenedetto is in the race-in spot. Robert Richardson is his teammate and biggest fan, because if DiBenedetto races in from 15th, Richardson gets into the race on speed. If David Gilliland passes DiBenedetto, Richardson goes home.
That's a lot of money for the team, for the BK Racing team. I don't know what it pays to start this race this year. Over 100 grand, I know that, and that's a lot of money.
So Richardson off pace toward the back, 40 seconds behind, may get lapped before this is over. He is his teammate's biggest fan right now as Kyle Busch pulls them around Daytona. 13 cars now in the lead draft. 8 to go.
I really think they're going to catch him.
It's going to be real close. They have really closed that gap down. It was over 4 seconds, and now it's down to 2.5, about 2.7. So that draft is really starting to kick in, and they're really starting to feel the effects of it.
And how long can that front group wait to start dicing it up? All of them want to win this race. They know they're going to have to get side by side. They're going to have to make some moves to try to get past Kyle Busch. So that will also help them close up in a hurry.
Wondering if fuel is a factor. Let's visit with Chris Neville.
Well, Mike, Casey Mears has had a great night. He's been running right near the front all night long, but his team just radioed him some bad information. They just told him you might be 2 laps short on fuel. We accidentally pulled our gas man about a second early. We needed 4 seconds, and we pulled him at 3 seconds. So you might be 2 laps short.
Oh my goodness, that is terrible news.
And that could be the difference between row 4 and row 19 starting the Daytona 500.
Yeah, and not only that, he's running right there in 4th place. You run out of fuel in front of these guys behind you, and man, somebody might run over you. That's a chance.
right now it's so important for this front group to work well together, stay nose to tail, stay as tight as you can. You don't want that second group to catch you. When that second group catches you, everything is going to change in this front group. And we keep seeing a gap between the 48 back to the 13. And I don't know if Casey's having some handling issues. We're seeing Jimmy kind of poke low, or if it's cooling issues, or maybe just that look further back part of that first pack just isn't quite as organized.
Well, he could be trying to save fuel. But here goes Johnson right here. He's going to shoot by Matt Kenseth.
And look at the timing.
Oh, he didn't make it.
He used the air from the cars that were about to be lapped.
Oh.
Richardson and Sorensen thought that would propel him forward, but it's Casey Mears in the 13 who goes to second place.
They used that draft after those two cars that they're coming up to lap. And I think Jimmy just thought he was going to catch the 20 car off a little bit and surprise him and get by him, but he didn't clear him.
Boy.
Well, this pack behind is catching them for sure now.
Oh, yeah, that's what they wanted, was them to get racing up there in front. And here they come, but I don't know where they're going to go, but they're going to catch them.
A.J. Allmendinger got his wish. They got double wide in front of him, and look at that second pack close.
Absolutely.
It's such a chess game, Mike. And Jeff, you know, if you make a move and the other guy doesn't go with you, or that hole closes up like what happened to Johnson, you are doomed.
And now it's all one pack. That's the 40 of Reed Sorensen, a lap down now. And the 26 Robert Richardson, the lap cars, as Kenseth and Johnson in the 48 try to claw back and regain lost ground.
All the momentum from that pack that just caught Jimmy Johnson gave him a big boost through there. He gets inside of Kenseth again, but they leave him out.
No help.
They didn't help him. But he got back in line there. That was a great move.
He forced his way in front of A.J. Allmendinger, or in front of Allmendinger.
And then that energy pushed Matt Kenseth, gave him a big boost, and he goes to the inside by Martin Truex Jr. and going to get to the inside of Kurt Busch. This is going to create all kinds of racing now. You're going to see everybody going for it now. They know they've got to get up there back to the lead or up to the front if they're going to have a shot at this win.
Yeah, once Matt Kenseth's got in the position he's in, he's got a fast race car. So does Jimmy Johnson. They need to try to figure out a way to get back up there and challenge for the lead.
Coming to 3 laps to go.
I'm just worried about that 13 car, Jeff. They told him he was 2 laps short, and we're coming up in 2 laps.
Yeah, 2 laps is 5 miles.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I think maybe he was saving a little fuel there a time or two. That's why he fell back a little bit maybe. But how are you going to save fuel and stay in this lead pack?
And I think that's exactly what you're absolutely right, DW. The reason why he was hanging back a little bit is he's running quarter throttle, trying to do everything he can to save as much fuel as possible.
Yeah, just let the draft pull you along. You're not going to go anywhere, but you're not going to lose anything.
I can tell you who's not saving fuel right now, and that's Matt Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson.
They need to work together. If they're going to win this race or have a shot, they've got to work together.
Matt had a great run, had Jimmy with him, but it didn't last long, and Jimmy's going to go with Matt's teammate, Carl Edwards, go to that high line. Going to leave Matt out to dry. Oh, whoa.
Whoa, now easy, fellas.
That's close, and Casey Mears.
And Mears is out of fuel.
Out of gas.
Out of fuel.
2 to go.
Freaking out of gas.
I tell you, the guy that's a setting duck, that 18 car out front right there, that big lead, they're going to eat him up.
They are absolutely going to eat him up. If I'm Jamie McMurray right now, I'm going to make sure I don't get too much of a gap between me and Jimmy Johnson, get all the energy from those cars behind me, get a big push, and go right on by.
Explain why, with a lap and a half to go, a big lead is the worst thing to have here.
Yeah, the more you get out there, the easier it is for cars behind you to get momentum and get a big run on you. We heard Denny Hamlin in that first duel talk about getting a run.
Whoa, baby.
Busch to block, down to the bottom, up to the top. Busch to block.
No. Blocking. Yeah.
Trash heap.
Fellas, we're enough. Grass at 2.
What a mess.
Matt Kenseth. His car pretty well torn up, and they will have to fix it if he's going to retain his outside front row start for the 500.
Mike,
if they go to a backup car,
that's a backup car.
That baby's crashed.
And
he goes to the back.
Really unfortunate.
Martin Truex.
That's exactly what you don't want to see.
And by the way, the race is over. The leader was past the line back there.
Checkered flag, and Kyle Busch scores his 3rd dual win in 12 tries. He's won a duel 2 of the last 4 seasons. It's the 9th dual win for Joe Gibbs Racing. But some of the Daytona 500 favorites, Johnson, Truex, Kenseth, wrecked along with Allmendinger and others.
Well, we knew it was going to get dicey.
It got wild. Let's have a look.
Now, this is just a sign of how bad everybody wants to win this race. Jamie McMurray, great restrictor plate driver. He gets a good run, but he doesn't quite get there. And then he moves up to block the 48, who has a good run coming on the outside. They make contact. And here's the results of that.
Kurt Busch just went right through there in a shower of sparks. Here are the 3 most badly damaged cars, and Danica Patrick as well.
You can see where Jimmy Johnson just started to get a bumper to the rear bumper or the quarter panel of the one.
Man, look at that 20 car go up under the back of Martin Truex car. Just lifted it off the ground.
Let's have a look from the Goodyear blimp at the overlap between the 1 and 48 as they come through the tri-oval here. So there is Jimmy Johnson, 3rd in line.
You're going to see the number 1 of Jamie McMurray getting a big run here. He's got a little bit more of a gap to the 48 than I think he'd like. He tried to make the move. Kyle closed the door. He comes up. He knows if he gets in front of Jimmy Johnson, that's going to be the push that he needs to get by the 18. Unfortunately, he was just a little late getting there, and then they make contact and turn Jimmy all the way around, and then he gets hit from behind.
Well, McMurray had to, I mean, when the 18 was so far out in front, McMurray had this incredible run, and he was coming up on the back of Kyle Busch in the 18, but he didn't have anywhere to go, and here comes Jimmy Johnson. He's got to run on McMurray, and he doesn't have anywhere to go, and they bottle up and wreck.
Now look at Kurt Busch in the 41. He's going to get a lot of damage, but he is able to continue on and finish 3rd.
Wow.
Behind Kyle Busch and McMurray.
I guess the question will be on the 41, is that repairable damage? Will they have to go to a backup car? Because he's certainly going to get a good starting position if he finishes 4th.
I think the right side of that car is pretty torn up. I'm not sure they can fix that.
We certainly know they can't fix any of these cars.
No. The 20 car, watch him go up on the back of the 78.
A wild finish in Daytona for race 2 of the Can-Am Duel. Stick around. We'll have complete post-race coverage on Fox Sports Live. Let's join Mike Hill and Ryan Field. Thank you, Mike. Disaster in Daytona for Jimmy Johnson, Martin Truex, and others. On the final lap, it all happened behind Kyle Busch, who drives into victory lane. Chris Neville.
And Kyle Busch gets his 3rd dual win. Kyle, I spoke to your crew chief earlier. He said, all I want is a good starting position for the 500, and I want to be able to pick a good pit box. You gave him all that.
Yeah, we did. It was, I guess it was pretty quiet and calm there for a long time until the last lap. It went kind of crazy behind me, but great car. Guys at Joe Gibbs Racing did a phenomenal job this winter building some new pieces for us to come down here with and have some fun. So looking forward to starting a Daytona 500 in the 4th spot. But I think I actually will probably get the outside front row now that Kenseth got caught up in that mess and tore up his car. So can't say enough about M&M's. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary with us this year, so we're excited about that. All the fans on every single M&M's race, the 75th lap, if you want to share your favorite M&M's memories, photos, videos, whatever, on any social media platform,
please do that with us. Use the hashtag MMS75, and there's going to be some cool prizes for everybody with that. So excited about that opportunity for all the race fans to take home some cool swag. Maybe it's some Toyota stuff, maybe it's Interstate, could be some NOS Energy, who knows. But thanks Sprint for putting this race on, Can-Am, thank those guys, thank all the fans for being here tonight. So a lot of fun to win these things. It doesn't really mean a whole lot, but it still means something for all the guys, everyone back at the shop. And thank TRD and the engine department too. Thank you guys.
Well done, Kyle. Matt?
Jimmy McMurray got out of the one car, walked around, looked at his bumper, also looked at the right rear quarter panel. You didn't see any marks. Walk us through what took place from your vantage point.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. When you look at the replay, I didn't think that the 48 was going to have enough of a run. I stalled out when I got near the 18. And I never felt him touch me, so I don't know if it was just a disturbance in the air of my car coming up. There wasn't a mark on the car, so I'm not sure. It was a pretty uneventful race. Our Cessna McDonald Chevy was really good in practice. You really didn't get to see what you had in the race because we didn't run side by side that long. But had a lot of people from Florida Hospital here tonight in one of these new suites at the racetrack. So hopefully they enjoyed themselves.
McMurray second here tonight in Daytona.
Thank you, Matt. Let's pick up Matt DiBenedetto. Raced in, finishing 9th, as well, he earns a 10th row starting spot for the 500, and that means his teammate Robert Richardson will make the 500 on speed, and that David Gilliland and Reed Sorensen are the two drivers disappointed in this one. There's DiBenedetto celebrating. Fine job. Second fastest of the open cars in qualifying and raced his way in. Here's Matt.
Robert Richardson races his way in. Can you describe just the pressure that's off you now?
Oh, that's the whole world's been lifting off of my shoulders for sure. Definitely can't thank Lane Segerstrom and everyone at Stalkit and Cornboard for giving us this opportunity. I'm sure y'all have heard the story. 2 weeks ago, I was out in my hay pastures just mowing, getting everything ready for the spring, and got a phone call from Lane that we were doing this deal. So very blessed, very honored to be here. This will be my, I think, second opportunity to run the Daytona 500, but this one's a lot more special.
Were you able to compartmentalize that stress and pressure during the race, or was it still in the back of your mind?
Oh yeah, the whole time the whole race was going, I didn't really know where we stood as far as if we were in, if we weren't. All I could do was just try to be as smooth as possible, draft with who I could. We lost the draft there the first part of the race, and just hung on to it, and then luckily the good Lord was on our side, and we ended up bringing it home and making the Daytona 500.
Robert Richardson, he's racing on Sunday.
Yeah, great job for Ron Devine's BK Racing, puts 4 cars in the Daytona 500. There are your Can-Am Duel winners. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in a Chevrolet, Kyle Busch in a Toyota. Wins Duel number 2. Well, the first race wasn't so wild. We expected the second race would be. Took all the way to the end, but oh my goodness.
Well, obviously great moments for those that won these races and those that know that they're now in the Daytona 500, but huge disappointment and heartache for those, especially in that second duel that got caught up in that wreck and have torn up race cars.
Mike, I think sometime when you sit there like they did, running in line up against the wall, you don't really know what your car's capable of. And so you come to the end of the race, and all of a sudden you got to make some moves. And it looked to me like Johnson got in the corner real high, and Jeff knows it's really loose and dirty up there, and I think that just sent his car around.
Yeah, not to mention, I think that little bit that they maybe touched, unloaded that front end or loaded on the left front of Jimmy Johnson's car as he checked up, and it just sent that car around.
Yep. And it doesn't take much, folks. Just the equivalent of a finger push at 190 miles an hour to send one of those cars sideways. Well, we know who's in the Daytona 500, and that includes Fox Sports' Michael Waltrip with Chris Myers.
Thanks, Mike. And guys, how was it out there?
Yeah, the car drove well. We just had a problem getting the gas in it, so we had to come back for an extra stop. But I tell you what, Jimmy Johnson did, it's the same thing you saw in the first race when Cole Witt got a little bit loose getting down into turn 1. These cars are running right on the edge, and you put them in a pack and make an abrasive move, you can really have it get away from you. So we're going to have to go to work on the number 83 Maxwell House Toyota because it's a little bit loose, and we learned that today. We look forward to Saturday and practicing some more.
Great story. Robert Richardson Jr. getting in on time because Matt DiBenedetto raced in. And Richardson Jr., he mentioned from the cow pasture now to the Great American Race out in Texas, former backup quarterback at SMU. Let's check in on Matt DiBenedetto. He's standing by with our Matt Yoakum.
A great night for BK Racing. Really sums up for the organization. This is one of those stellar nights.
Man, what a feat for us at BK Racing to get 4 cars in the Daytona 500. That's I just glad to be part of it. Glad we got all 4 cars in. That's a great start to the year. You know, financially for us, that's I mean, no better way to get jump started. So I'm just really proud to have had a TRD engine under the hood. Thank you to Toyota, Michael Waltrip for helping our partnership with Toyota. Dustless Blasting, Cosmo Motors, Dr. Pepper, and Iwata. Just all the great sponsors and support we have here at BK Racing. I'm, man, to be able to compete in my first Daytona 500 this coming weekend, it's just, it's been a dream of mine since I was 5 years old. I cannot believe it's here. I get to compete in the Great American Race. I'm so proud of my guys. Just this is so amazing to be here. I'm so thankful to be driving in the Sprint Cup Series. Just going to be really fun.
Good luck on Sunday. Jamie?
So many different emotions. Martin Truex Jr. 1 lap, less than a lap to finishing there, and now the car is destroyed. You're going to a backup. Do you know anything about the backup?
I don't, but I mean, I'm sure it'll be okay. Our guys build really good race cars, and you know, it's a shame. It's 2 cars on the last lap in 2 races in turn 1, so a little bit frustrating. You know, just going to have another decent run there. Where, you know, everything was looking good. The car was, I was really happy with it tonight. Yeah, just unfortunate. I was kind of committed to the middle toward the high side, and I seen the 48 completely sideways in front of me, and I was like, he's going to hit the car on the inside and come back up the track, and I couldn't get turned down below him. So just one of them deals. It's frustrating, but it's, you know, it's restrictor plate racing, so we'll work hard on getting our backup car ready and getting it ready for Sunday, and hopefully be able to get up through the field and get somewhere towards the front in a safe spot. But it's tough to catch any luck so far this speed weeks.
Thanks, Martin. Chris?
Thank you, Jamie. And so the second duel goes to Kyle Busch, who not only got Toyota its first ever win in the Cup Series, 10 years in the series, but its first championship, NASCAR Sprint Cup champion, hoping to give Toyota its first ever Daytona 500 victory in the Sprint Cup. A quick recap here with Michael Waltrip, Duel 1. He was watching, observing, and this is where Cole Witt, Michael McDowell had to block him, and Michael McDowell worked his way into the 500.
Just throwing a Hail Mary, Chris. It was all that he could do to try to battle his way into that race.
And then Dale Earnhardt Jr., 15 years to the day that his father passed away on this track, said, I was thinking about my old man, daydreaming today about winning this race because of the day. Meanwhile, Toyota's just dominating from start to finish. Kyle Busch leading 35 laps, Kenseth 23 before the wreck with a lap to go.
Johnson tried to cut hard into turn 1. He had a guy behind him. Whether they made contact or not wasn't really clear. He got pushed up the hill, and those cars are right on the edge of control at 200 miles an hour into turn 1, and that's what happens when one gets away from you.
A combined 4 Daytona 500 wins lost in that wreck with Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson. Truex, you heard from Danica Patrick, Allmendinger, Kurt Busch involved, but Kyle Busch picking up the victory. So this is the way it looks. And interesting, the 20-year-old rookie Chase Elliott, the youngest to ever start on the pole for the Daytona 500. He was 2 years old when Matt Kenseth ran his first race. Matt will be 44 years old next month. And then look at that second row with Earnhardt Jr. and Kyle Busch.
And I think it's going to be Hendrick versus the Gibbs cars. Those have showed the most speed. The Penske cars are strong as well, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, both drivers that can get it done on this track. Denny Hamlin talked about the speed, and you just talked about the Toyotas, and he ran well tonight before Junior took the lead from him late in that Duel 1.
And Danica Patrick was solid in her race. Talked to her before the race started. She loves her car, thinks it's handling well. Could be the key to her having a good Sunday.
Trevor Bayne, one of the upset winners. Remember when he won, the youngest ever to win the Daytona 500. He was 125 to 1 long shot in Las Vegas. By the way, the early numbers, there's Brad Keselowski, who's yet to win anything on this particular track at Daytona, although he's been a Sprint Cup champion. Casey Mears hanging around before he ran out of fuel tonight. This is a race where long shots can win.
That's exactly right. I did, Chris, so that tells you.
Twice it happened. That's really a long shot. And Michael McDowell, Robert Richardson Jr., the drama of getting the last few spots.
What a great story for Robert Richardson Jr. He was in the Texas fields a couple weeks ago. Now he's in the Daytona 500.
The great American race here, and those who gave it their best shot but couldn't get in. Let's check in now as Kyle Busch celebrates in victory lane with some M&Ms. Jamie Little standing by with not one, but 2 drivers. Jamie.
Yes, Jimmy Johnson first up here showed tremendous speed with that car. Single car speed today. Now it's destroyed. You're going to a backup. What did you see, Jimmy?
Yeah, sad to lose that car. It was really, really good. With the one had a run on the 18, and it didn't pan out getting underneath him, and that allowed me to come to the outside. And then Jamie came up to defend that, and I was unfortunately outside of him, and I could see where it was taking us, and we were going to hook bumpers and crash. And I tried to get out of the hole, and it didn't work, and I kind of skipped off the wall and turned around in front of everybody. So just an aggressive move, and sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Just bummed out we lost our race car.
All right, thanks for your time, Jimmy. And now I'll turn over to Matt Kenseth, who everybody has eyes on you and the 24 because you guys were locked in starting on the front row. Now your car is destroyed, and you too will have to start in the back. What's going through your mind after all that?
I was just listening to Wreck what happened there. So, yeah, Jason was saying, once we got shuffled, he was telling me to bail out down the front stretch, and I was actually trying to find a hole to get out of there. And I seen the wreck happen a while before it started and tried to start slowing down, and just car ran over from behind and got pushed into the wreck. So it's beyond disappointing, but you got to practice at some point. You got to go out there and try to get your runs and try to figure out how you can make it pass. So it all started with debris on the grill. I thought we had control of the race, and we got back to second, and it just didn't work out.
All right, thanks, Matt, for your time.
Matt Kenseth, part of that front row. You'll see it on Fox, the Great American Race with Chase Elliott. And it's interesting, historically, usually starting up front, this is a race where people can move from back and forth, but nearly 30% of the time in the history of the Daytona 500, and this is the 58th running on Sunday, nearly 30% of the time, the driver who starts in the front row winds up winning the race, I should say. And Dale Earnhardt Jr., a 5-1 favorite. He's done nothing but cement that coming into the week. Who else can give him a serious challenge?
Well, when you talk down on the grid, I was with some guys at pre-race, Matt Kenseth particularly. He said Junior's got the fastest car. He made moves in that first race that he didn't see anyone else being able to make. But those Gibbs cars, they've got the speed too. Kyle Busch proved that just then. They were solid at the front of the field. Hamlin won the Unlimited. I think it's a toss-up between the Gibbs cars and Dale Jr. Dale Jr. the favorite, though.
You sound out of breath as long as you're not out of fuel.
No.
And good luck. You haven't run.
I ran low on fuel.
In your 29th running of the Great American Race.
Got lots of coffee.
With Michael Waltrip, Chris Myers, our entire gang here. Kyle Busch, the dual winner in the first duel. It went to Dale Earnhardt Jr., and we're gearing up for Sunday's running of the Daytona 500 from right here. Right now, let's go back to Ryan Field in Los Angeles.
That 24 is pushed out there. You're clear. You're clear.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. will win his dual race for the second year in a row.
Around.
Well, yeah, but
you're already in your backup. Okay.
Yeah, but we wanted to see what it would do, and we also